This person here is asking if I'm keeping track of the Donald Trump GOP efforts to engineer the perversion or prevention of upcoming elections. Your thoughts on any/insights to share on this. Listen, I think it's important to know that right now we live in a political era where we can almost guarantee that the Republican Party is going to try to fuck with elections in a way that benefits them. They're going to try and do things like limit polling locations, limit polling ways. In other words, try to cut out mail-in ballots, try to cut out same-day or early voting, try to cut out same-day registrations. Make it so that it's harder for you to stand in long lines in adverse weather in order to vote. All the way up to actually trying to rig elections. As we saw, listen, it's undebatable that Donald Trump tried to rig the 2020 election, the one that he said was rigged, by seating fake slates of electors in all 7 swing states. He did that. That's not up for debate. And the Republican Party is backing his efforts to defend that and now do things like send ICE agents to the polls. Now, I understand people on the right are going to go, well, if illegal immigrants, if undocumented immigrants aren't voting, what's the problem with having ICE at the polls? It's an intimidation factor. Because ICE doesn't give a shit about legality. ICE doesn't give a shit about your immigration status. They give a shit if you're brown. And if you're brown, they will stop you and detain you. They will throw you in a concentration camp. They will deport you to a country you've never been to. So if you're here legally and you can legally vote, but you're brown and you look like an undocumented immigrant in the eyes of these Nazi fucksticks, you might not want to go to the polls for fear of getting rounded up by these Nazi bands of stormtroopers. So, yeah, they're going to continue to fuck with the elections, and there's a reason why Republicans continue to fuck with elections. Because their ideas are bad. Because their policies are not popular. Because they don't have anything that they can stand in front of an audience and say, this is what I'm going to do for you if I get elected. They can only stand in front of an audience and say, this is who you should blame for your lot in life. This is the problem. These people are the problem. They're the reason why your life sucks. They're the reason why you don't make enough money. They're the reasons why you don't have a better house or a better car, or your kid can't go to college, or you can't afford that surgery. It's these people over here. They don't ever say how they're going to fix the problems because they're not interested in fixing the problems. They're just not. Now listen, I'm not sitting here telling you that the Democratic Party is perfect, not by any stretch of the imagination. But they are light years better than the Republican Party, because the Republican Party doesn't have ideas. They have hate. They have vitriol. And so when they can't sell hate and vitriol, when the hate and vitriol gets to be so bad that the stench of it reaches every corner of the United States of America, they need to turn to fucking to elections. And that's what they've been doing ever since Donald Trump came on the scene. Used to be, we had elections and you could pretty much count on them being fair. One could make a very serious argument that the Bush v. Gore election was handed to Bush. But for the most part, it's been fair and free elections. And then came Donald Trump, and we get things like fake slates of electors. Find me the requisite number of votes. This is what the Republican Party is for the foreseeable future, unfortunately.